Hello guys, welcome to the retail lecture. Today we'll be discussing about retail promotion, which is a continuous lecture of the previous lectures, namely retail products, retail price, and that of retail placement. So today we'll be discussing about the definition of retail promotion, what promotion is, what is the objective of retail promotion is, and what are the types of different retail promotions. So let's start with defining what retail promotion is. As we have discussed earlier lectures, we have said uh, the retailer provides a product for consumers in unit amounts, in single unit amounts, by purchasing in larger quantities. So the basic function of retailers are breaking the bulk, meaning um, so organizing the larger quantity of products in smaller units and delivering those products for the final customers, meaning the consumers. So after acquiring the product and after setting the price and after selecting the location for the product to be distributed for the customers, the retailers should communicate with the consumers. When they communicate with the consumers, they are telling the consumers that the new product is arriving, or there is a better product than what the customers are purchasing prior to that, or it might be if it is a newly established retail store, that retail store might communicate with the customers about its existence. So retailers communicate with their customers throughout the life of that retail store, starting from the introduction stage, meaning the establishment stage, to that of the maturity and that of decline stage. But there are different promotion strategy that the retailers might use. So when you come to the definition of promotion, promotion is a communication way, or it is a means of communicating with the customers. The retailer communicates with the retailer. So this communication process, this communication activity is known as promotion. This is just a simple definition of promotion. So the main objective of promotion, meaning this communication activity, is to influence the customers to develop a certain attitude and perception about the retail store and about the product that specific retail store holds. This perception and attitude is developed through time, but the developments, when they develop this attitude and perception, the retailers try to make it positive as much as possible. And the other main objective of promotion is to make the customers loyal to your store, meaning you are trying to make your customers to purchase uh, from your store again and again, rather than going to your competitors. We have discussed about competitors in the previous lecture, so you can refer those lectures. And then the other main objective of promotion is uh, creating store visits. Let's say if the store is a new store, uh, the displays that you use, the light boxes that you use, the advertisement that you use, the flyers that you use, or any other uh, promotion tool that you use should help you to encourage the customers to visit to your stores and check what is new, what is available in there, what value could your store create. So these are the basic uh, functions of promotion. So when we put it in terms of objectives, basically you have uh, different objectives, but the main objectives are to inform your customers, to persuade your customers, and to remind your customers. Of course, there are some other objectives of promotion, but these are the redundant terms that is used in promotion. So when you say to inform your customers, it means that telling your customers and creating a knowledge in the customers about your existence of the store, about a new product that the retail store is holding, or any other issue. So when you say informing, it is about creating knowledge, and it's about telling your customers about your existence, about the product that you hold. When you say persuading, it means telling your customers your store is a better store than your competitors. If the customers are purchasing from your store, they can get a better value than if they purchase from the competitor. So persuading is enforcing your customers, encouraging your customers to purchase your product from your store than from the competitors. And when you say reminding, it is making sure that your customers are not forgetful about your stores, about your products. Of course, these objectives are used or said in different states of the retail life cycle. If you remember the first chapter, there is a portion that discusses about retail life cycle, starting from infancy stage, starting from the introduction stage to that of the decline stage. So at the first stage, at the introduction stage of the retail store, you are probably going to use informing and that of persuasion as an objective than reminding the customers. But if it is at the maturity stage, if the retail store is at the maturity stage, you are going to use reminding and that of persuasion than informing as an objective. Of course, you might use informing when the retail store is at the maturity to just aware the customers about a new arrival. When there is a new product at the store, you might inform the customers about that specific new product. But when you see the life cycle stage of the retailers, if it is at the maturity stage, you are going to use reminding than informing. If it is at the infancy, at the introduction stage, you are going to use informing than reminding. So these are the basic objectives of promotion. But when you think of designing a promotion, what you should consider is you should try to convince your customers that your store is a better store than your competitors' store. That is all what promotion does. Telling your customers, convincing your customers that your store is a better store than your competitors' store. So promotion in general is about communication, but when you inform your customers or when you convince your customers that your store is a better store, you can offer a better value than your competitors, you should not exaggerate the promotion that you are going to tell to your customers, because the customers doesn't only see and evaluate the product that you hold, they also evaluate your promotions too. And if the promotion is exaggerated, if the promotion is misleading, if your performance is not as per the promotion that you claims, then you are going to lose your existing customers as well as your potential customers because of negative word of mouth that will be transferred to other customers too. So whenever you conduct a promotion, whenever you design a promotion, you should not exaggerate and mislead the customers. So saying this, uh, when you conduct promotion, is it only for the customers, or you are going to design a promotion for other target audiences too? Of course, you are going to design the promotion basically to convince your customers, but this is not the only case that you are going to design the promotions. You have to promote for the suppliers and for the vendors, so that the best vendors and the best suppliers will provide for your store. uh, the more supplier that you have, the better chance that you have to increase your profit and to increase your market share. So you should not only consider designing promotion for your customers, but also you should design a promotion for your suppliers too. This is not the only target audiences that should be considered. You should also consider the local public government officials, and then the journalists or the news agencies and so on. You should also consider these target audiences, because one way or the other, these target audiences will influence your existence in the market. So when designing the promotion, the first step that you are going to see is setting objectives. You should set objectives before thinking designing your promotion. You should know what is your goal. You should know why you are designing the promotion, whichever type of promotion it is. So the first step is setting objectives. The objectives could be awareness creation, as it is indicated in here. You your objective might be just creating awareness about a certain issue. It might be about the existence of the store. It might be about the product. It might be about the price or any other. So your objective might be creating awareness. Again, your objective might be to inform your customers or your target audiences at large. So informative type of promotion might be your objective. Another one, it might be just to create purchase action to persuade your customers. It might be to create loyalty and even improve loyalty statuses that the customers have. So the first thing that you should do is you should set your objectives. What is your goal? What you expected to achieve after the promotion is launched. So in setting your objectives, there are certain issues that you need to consider. Your objectives should be smart. I'm sure you are familiar with this term. So when you say smart, it represents a certain word. Each letter represents a certain word. So S stands for specific, meaning your objective should be focused and specific to a point. You should not set two different ideas as one objective. Rather, you should focus on achieving one specific and focused to the point issue. So your objective should be specific. And then when you say smart, M stands for measurable. So your objective should be measurable, meaning that it should be quantifiable. Your objective should be set in terms of quantity rather than qualitative, so that at the end you are going to check whether you have achieved that objective or not. So it will make things easier if you set your objective in terms of quantity. The third, A stands for achievability, or should be achievable. So your objective should be achievable. It means it should be based on your capacity, should be based on your uh, budget and based on your resource, the resource that you have. So it should be achievable. It means that you should set your objective based on the resource that you have. It should be realistic. It means that uh, when you set your objective, the technology that is available in the market should uh, should help you to fulfill those objectives, or you should set your objectives based on the technology that is available at hand, that is available at in the industry or in the market. So when you say relevance, it means the objective that you set should have a certain benefit for your company, for the society, for the public at large, and so on. So there's supposed to be a benefit or an importance um, in setting that objectives. You should acquire certain value, you should acquire a certain benefit by setting or by achieving that specific objective. And then targeted means you should have a certain audience. You should know the target audiences in setting objectives, for whom that objective is set for. You should understand and know the target audience. And lastly, when you say timed, it means the objective should be achieved in a specific time period. So here is the definition of what smart objectives means. You could read what it means, and you could have a better understanding in this slide. So be reminded that the first step in designing your promotion is setting your objectives. You have to know what goals you are going to achieve at the end of the promotion, or why you are setting that promotion, why you are launching that promotion, to achieve what. So you should know your objective. That is the first step. Saying this, in continuation with that, you could see in a clear way uh, about your objectives. So the first thing is you have to understand your target audience, right? We have said in here there are targeted in the objectives criteria. So the target audience or the market should be identified, should be understood better. You could understood the target audiences if you segment those audiences. When you segment those audiences, you can segment the audiences based on geographic location. You can segment based on demography. You could segment based on behavioral or any other segment criteria. So segmenting will help you to understand your target audience. It will give you better knowledge about your audiences if you segment and categorize your audiences. So for example, it says you know the target audience is school aged children that lives in Addis Ababa. So this segmentation is geographic segmentation. One, your specific location is the customers that live in Addis Ababa, not any other location. And school aged children's are the other criteria. Uh, your audience are school aged, not all school aged children, but those school aged children that live in Addis Ababa. If the school aged lives outside of Addis, then they are not your target audience. So that's the first thing that you need to do. You should identify the target audience, and then in identifying target audience, if you segment your target audiences, it will give you a better understanding about your target audience. And then you should also specify the products. When you say specify the products, it includes the goods, meaning the tangible manufacturing products, and that of the intangible services. So you should identify and specify what type of product you are going to promote and which product you are going to promote for the customer. So for example, it says uh, your target audience is school age children that live in Addis, and the product includes any children's product uh, for a back to school promotion. So the product is in relation with the target audiences. The third thing that you should do is you should specify your goals. What should be achieved at the end of the promotion. So it says to increase the sales by a certain amount and to change the attitudes of individuals who are 40 plus at the age. So uh, in here you can see where uh, the location is. It is in Addis, and the sales will be increased by 150,000 for one type of product and 120,000 for the other type of product. So the goals is increasing a sales volume by a certain amount and changing attitudes of the customers about the store. So you should specify your objectives at the third stage. The last stage, it should be time bound, meaning you should have a certain specific time period for achieving those objectives. So uh, you might say it, the objective should be achieved by September of a certain specific year, or by May of specific year, and so on. So when combining these four sets, you can see the objectives could be written in this way. So the objective says to ensure that the parents of children between the age of 4 and 16 within 7 miles of each Addis Ababa store are communicated with and receive information on the back to school children's offers. Subsequently, sales for these products will increase by 150,000 for children's wear and 120,000 for school related equipment by 1st September 2013 year. So uh, when you evaluate this statement, when you evaluate this objective, you should go to the first criteria that we have discussed. It should be smart, so you could check whether the objective set, the statement that is set by the company, whether it is specific or not, whether the target audiences are identified or not, whether it is time bound or not, whether it is measurable or not, whether it is achievable or not, whether it is relevant or not, whether it is realistic or not, and so on. So you should evaluate your statements by the criteria that we have discussed. So the objective should be smart, but when you design your statements, when your objectives, you should uh, follow these four basic steps. First, you should identify your audience, then you should specify the products, then you should specify the goals, and you should specify the time horizon, or the time that is required to achieve that specific objective. So that is the first step, setting objectives. After you set your objectives, what you are going to do is you are going to determine how much capital is required, how much of the investment is required. So budgeting is the second step in designing your promotion. First you set your objective, then you are going to set budgets. uh, bear in mind that in here there is no one best way in determining the budget. We have about six promotion budget methods, but there is no one best way you can use among these six uh, methods as it is suited to the objectives, or as it is suited to the company. So in setting your objectives, there are different factors that you need to consider. It's not just the promotion that matters, but the other marketing mixes also matters, and other external issues also matter. When you set your promotion, you are going to consider your product, type of product, about quality, about brand, and about other things. And then you are going to see also about your price. So the price determines your promotion budget. Competition is also another factor that you are going to consider in setting your promotion budget. So we have the external factors, and we have the marketing mixes to be considered in setting our promotion budget. So saying that, when we see the different approach or the different methods of promotion budget, the famous ones are from top to bottom, all right? Those who are at the later, uh, they are not that much popular, but the ones at the top, they are somehow popular. So the first approach of setting promotion is known as objective and task method. So when you say objective and task method, it means you are going to see, you are going to evaluate your objectives, and then you are going to set appropriate budget that goes with your objectives. If let's say your objective is creating awareness, then you are going to set a promotion budget uh, that will help you to achieve your objectives. So let's compare two uh, objectives, all right? Let's say your objective is informing your customers, creating awareness, and your objective is reminding your customers. When you remind your customers, because most of the customers are familiar with your product, most of the customers are familiar with your stores, they know that you exist. It's just to help them remind you that you still exist. So you might not incur that much of capital in promotion because the customers are already familiar with your products. But again, you should also consider other factors like that of competition in the market and so on. The higher the competition, then the higher your promotion budgets will be, even if your objective is reminding. You can I'll give you examples in here. uh, so the other one, if your objective is awareness creation and informing the customers, you might invest a higher amount of capital compared to if your objective is to remind your customers. Why that? Because you are a new company, nobody knows about your existence, so you are going to promote your stores, you are going to promote your products again and again frequently until the customers are aware of your existence, and the customers create trust in your store. So when your objective is reminding, the promotion budget might be lower. When the objective is awareness creation, your promotion budget will be a bit higher. So coming back to the example that we have talked, when even if it is reminding, you might invest higher capital. You can take Coca-Cola for instance. Coca-Cola is a well-known multinational company, but still it invests billions of dollars in promotion because that company wants us to stay as a leader. Because there are competition in the market, there is competitors in the market, so your promotion capital will increase. But when you say objective and task method in general, you are going to set your objectives, you are going to evaluate your objectives, and you are going to set a promotion budget that will help you to achieve that specific objective. So that is the first one. The second one is known as affordable method, or what is in your wallet method. So the other name for affordable method is what is in your wallet method, right? So when you say affordable method, the company, the retail stores consider promotion as a cost, not as a benefit. So they are going to set other costs, let's say for product, they are going to set their budget first, and then they are going to set a budget for their employees, for their store layouts and so on, and then lastly they are going to set a budget as a cost. So when you say affordable method, first you are going to deduct uh, budgets for other other activities, and then you are going to set what is left from the total cost. So it is known as affordable method, or what is in your wallet method. Of course, when you use any of these uh, promotion budgets, techniques, or methods, it has its own cons and pros. Uh, you can read more about the cons and the pros of setting or using the promotion budgets. The objective and task method has its own cons and pros. The affordable method has its own cons and pros, so you should read those things to have a better understanding. The third method is known as percentage of sales method. So in the percentage of sales method, what you are going to do is you'll forecast your sales, and then you set a certain percent for promotion. Let's say if you forecast your sales to be $250,000 in a month, or for that specific time period, you are going to set a certain percent. Let's say you set 10% of the sales. So when you calculate your promotion budgets, what you are going to do is you are going to calculate 10% of the 250,000, and then whatever amount you get, that will be your promotion budget. In this case, 10% of 250,000 will be 25,000. So $25,000 will be set as a budget for your promotion. So it is known as percentage of sales method. So again, there is advantages and disadvantages in these steps too, but one thing that you should consider in percentage of sales is whenever your sales volume increases, then your promotion budgets will increase, and whenever your sales decreases, your promotion budget will decrease too. When the product is seasonal, then uh, the promotion budget fluctuates in terms of that specific season. Again, you can read more about the cons and the pros in percentage of sales method. The fourth method is known as competitive parity, or competitor based promotion budgeting. So competitive parity is when the retail store sets the promotion budget based on the competition in the market. Whenever there is higher competition in the market, and whenever the competitor sets their promotion budget higher, then the retail store will increase the promotion budget. And whenever there is lower competition in the market, and whenever the competitor sets lower promotion budget, then the retail store will minimize or decrease the promotion budget. So competitive parity method depends solely on the competitors. So this method focuses on the competitors. You are going to follow the steps of your competitors as a retailer. Again, it has its own advantage and disadvantage. You could read more on that issues. The fifth one is co-op only method. So when you say co-op only method, it depends on the manufacturer's cooperation in supporting the advertising or the advertisements. If the manufacturer company advertises its product and helps you to share the advertisement, then the retailer sets lower advertisement budget. And whenever the corporation, meaning the company, the manufacturing company, doesn't promote its product and doesn't share your advertising, then you are going to set higher amount of budgets for promotion. So it is known as co-op only method. It depends on the manufacturer's cooperative in supporting the advertisements in terms of dollar. So it is known as co-op method. Again, it has its own advantage and disadvantage. Zero method is the last budgeting technique. So when you say zero method, the marketers, the retail stores try to keep the marketing budgets as low as close to zero. You cannot make it zero, but they try to keep the marketing investments close to zero. So it is known as zero method budgeting. So this is the second step that you need to follow. The first one is setting objectives, okay, in designing your promotion. So that's the first step. The first step in designing promotion is setting objectives, then setting your promotion budget. And then the third step that you are going to consider in designing your promotion is you have to understand which promotion tool or which promotion mix you are going to use. There are different promotion mixes or promotion tools. It is the same thing. So you should be able to choose between those promotion tools. Advertising is one promotion mix or promotion tool. You can use uh, window displays as a promotion. You can use sales promotion. You can use PR or public relation. You could use personal selling. You could use signing and so on. So you should uh, know which promotion mixes that you are going to use. So that is the third step. But in identifying which promotion mix you are going to use, there are different factors that you need to see. The first factor is what is my objective in to be achieved at the end of the promotion. And the second factor that you need to consider is the product types. You should consider the product types that you are going to sell, and you are going to consider the promotion budget that you have, and then you should also check the target audiences, what type of target audience you are going to address by designing the promotion. So that is the factors that you need to consider before selecting which promotion tool you are going to use. So saying that, let's continue with types of promotion, and we will discuss what type of promotion is there. So In setting your promotion, it depends whether it is paid or unpaid, and whether it is personal or impersonal. So uh, in uh, in this quadrant, where it is impersonal and paid, we have different promotion tools like that of advertising, sales promotion, store atmosphere, digital marketing is considered as impersonal and it is paid. Personal selling and that of e-marketing is personal and again it is paid. When you discuss about publicity and that of public relation, it is impersonal and it is unpaid. Word of mouth is personal and it is unpaid. But the popular marketing promotion tools are advertising, sales promotion, store atmosphere, and again we have digital marketing and that of publicity and word of mouth. So these are the very popular, but you can use personal selling as well as email marketing too. The difference between email marketing and that of digital marketing is that in the email marketing you are focusing on emails only, and when you say digital marketing, it is a marketing activity when you apply internets to communicate with your customers. Of course, email marketing is part of digital marketing. So the first promotion tool that we are going to discuss is advertising. So advertising is also known as mass communication or mass promotion. The reason it is called mass communication or mass promotion is you can address as large target audiences at once. Imagine if you are using TV advertising to communicate with your customers at specific time in a specific promotion, you can address large target audiences. So that's why it is known as mass communication. But if you use personal selling, you can only address a couple of individuals, one or two individuals at a time, maybe 10 to a maximum, probably. So personal selling is not mass communication. Advertising is mass communication. You can address a large group of audiences at a specific time period. So when you say advertising, as we said, it is paid form. You as a retailer pays a certain amount for that specific advertising, and then it is non-personal communication. So when you say non-personal communication, the advertising agency or the broadcast agency doesn't have any personal relation with the product or the store to be advertised, but it is also identified sponsors. The sponsors is known. For instance, if you promote a certain retail store, let's say XYZ retail store, XYZ retail store will pay a certain some amount of money for the advertisers, for the promoting companies, but that promoting company doesn't have any personal relation with XYZ retail store. And in the advertisements, the customers know that the promotion is made for XYZ retail store, so it is known as identified sponsor. So in advertising, there are different models that you could use, but there is one model that is interesting in retail advertising. It is known as Dagmar model. So Dagmar means D stands for defining advertising goals for measured advertising results, meaning you could measure the advertising results and you are going to define the advertising goals. First, you have to define what is the goal of that advertising, and then you can measure the results of that specific advertising. So it's known as Dagmar model. In the Dagmar model, there are a certain steps to be defined. So the first is an awareness, meaning the customers are not aware of that retail store or that product. So that is the first one. So this is defined advertising goal. The goal is to create awareness. There is unaware customers, then you can create awareness. The customers will know if that product is available or not, if the store exists. So you can create awareness, and then it is comprehension of the offers, meaning the customers will start to evaluate the offers, will start to understand the offers and so on, and then there will be conviction. They will start to try the products. They started to visit the stores, and there will be action or inaction, meaning they will start to purchase the product and they will become loyal customers. So these are the flows in the Dagmar model. More comprehensively, we can see the Dagmar model in diagram. So the awareness and the knowledge part, that is the first two hierarchies. So in the awareness and the knowledge part, the objective, the promotion objective is to provide information for the target audience. Whenever you create awareness, whenever you create knowledge, then you are informing your customers. You are going to provide information. So which promotion mix will be appropriate in these two states? Pioneer advertising or public relation or POP or window displays will be appropriate in the first two hierarchies, or in the in providing information. The third and the fourth effect is liking and that of preference. Liking and preference is one is stronger than the other. The customer will like the store or the product, and they start to prefer that product. So preference is stronger than liking. So in these two effects, in these two hierarchies, the objective is to change the attitudes and the feelings of the customers, to make the customers comfortable, to start trusting the retail stores. So this is the objectives. The possible promotion mixes, you can use competitive advertising, then pioneer advertising. You can use personal selling, you can use sales promotion, and the others. So these are the other two hierarchies. The last two hierarchies is conviction and that of purchase. This one, they start to examine the product, and in here they will start to actually purchase the product. So it is the objective is known as stimulate desires. So the first objective is informing the customers that there is a certain product, there is a certain value by purchasing from your stores or by purchasing your products, and then you are going to change the attitudes. When you inform the customer, they might develop a certain trust issue, a certain attitude, and if the attitude is negative or unpleasant, then you are going to change the attitudes and the feelings. You will make them to trust you and to believe on the stores. And then lastly, you are going to stimulate the desires. You are going to motivate the customers to purchase your product. So this is the Dagmar model that we have discussed diagrammatically. you can apply this model. If you want, there are other models in advertising too. It is known as AIDA model. You can read more on those models. Of course, we have some other models too. So whichever model you have applied, whether you have applied the Dagmar model, whether you have applied the AIDA model, or the other models, there are different types of advertising in place that the retailer could use. So the first advertising type is known as product advertising. So when you say product advertising, you focus only on communicating with customers about the products, about the existence of the product, about new arrivals of the product, about the exclusiveness of the product, about the product's quality, about the value of the product. So you focus only on the products. So it's known as product advertising. You don't communicate about the stores on or any other. So you focus only on about the product. So when you say product, it might be tangible product, it might be intangible services. So this is the first type of advertising. The second advertising type is known as markdown event advertising. So markdown is special event. When there is a special event, when there is lower costs or a special offer, you are going to use markdown event advertising. For instance, you might have contests. So when you advertise, there exists to be a contest as at a certain period of time with discounts. You are going to use markdown event advertising. You focus on the events rather than the products. The third is known as institutional advertising. So when you say institutional advertising, you are communicating with the customers about the existence of the store or about the existence of the retail shop. So you focus on the retail store and the shops when you use institutional advertising. When you use product advertising, you focus on the product. When you use markdown event advertising, you focus on the events. And when you use institutional advertising, you focus on communicating about the stores. Cooperative advertising is when the manufacturers invest a certain amount of money to promote your retail store. Sometimes you might see a light box or a banner that describes about both the manufacturing company as well as the retail store. So it is known as cooperative advertising. So in cooperative advertising, the manufacturer shares the promotion by supplying different promotion materials, like that of leaflets or banners sometimes, and sometimes they might provide you with light boxes and so on. So it's known as cooperative advertising. Uh, so in choosing any of these advertising techniques, what matters is the objectives, because the first thing that you need to consider in designing promotion is setting objectives, and the second step is setting budgets, and the third is choosing which promotion tool you are going to use. The second promotion mix is known as sales promotion. Sales promotion, again, it is paid with impersonal or non-personal type of communication, but the difference between sales promotion and that of advertising is that in the sales promotion there are prizes, there are contests, there are samples, there might be demonstrations, and so on. In advertising, there is no contest, there is no prize, there is no demonstration or there is no referrals. But again, advertising is also non-personal and paid. But when you say sales promotion, it is paid and it is non-personal. But the difference is that in sales promotion, there are prices and samples. Again, in the objectives, sales promotion is used to maximize immediate sales or to maximize short-term sales, to motivate your customers to purchase in short terms. For instance, if there is discount, uh, there is a probability that the customers will purchase frequently. If there is free samples, for instance, again, the customers might be motivated to purchase that specific product from that specific retail store. Of course, in advertising, you could communicate that there is free samples, there might be prices on and so on, but you are not going to give uh, these samples when you advertise in TVs or something else. But in sales promotion, if there is free samples, you are going to provide those free samples. So the basic objective of sales promotion is to maximize immediate sales. It is short term again. It stays for a short period of time. But advertising compared to sales promotion, it might last a little bit longer than sales promotion. If sales promotion stays for longer periods, then it's no longer a sales promotion, but customers will feel as part of the product or part of the service. Let's say if you are going to give free samples for over 2 years, then the customers might think these free samples are part of the product itself or part of the product package. If you are going to discount for certain products for over a year, then the customers might think that discount is again part of the product package, or sometimes they might even think it is fake. For instance, there are big discounts sales in the market, right? But if you see, let's say, big discounts for about a year in a certain retail store, you might say, well, this is fake, or this is not a real thing. So sales promotion should stay for a shorter period of time compared to advertising. So there are different types of sales promotion, namely consumer-based sales promotion or customers sales promotion. We have trade sales promotion and we have sales force sales promotion. When you use customers sales promotion or consumer-based sales promotion, the target audience will be the final customers or consumers. And when you say trade sales promotion, the target audience will be business customers. And when you say sales force sales promotion, the target audiences will be the sales force or the salespersons. We have said uh, you are going to design promotion not only for customers, but you are going to design for other target audiences like that of local publics, government publics, or for suppliers and vendors too. If you want to attract vendors, then you are going to design a trade sales promotion than customer or consumer based sales promotion. So these are the different types of sales promotion. But why do you uh, design a sales promotion? So the basic reasons are listed at the right side. You might design a sales promotion to encourage the customers to purchase at larger quantities or to purchase in frequent times. Uh, you might give samples to motivate the customers to purchase 2 times a day rather than uh, 1 time a day, or two more than once. So to encourage repeat purchase or frequent purchase, you are going to design sales promotions. And again, you might design a sales promotion uh, to to make these sensitive, price sensitive customers have a comfort in purchasing your product, so that you can maximize the market share and the sales volume. So as we said, the basic objective is to maximize immediate sales, but these are some of the reasons that you might design a sales promotion. We have different types of sales promotion. As you can see, coupons are one sales promotion tool. You might organize an event like that of a contest. You might have samples, you might have demos, you might have exhibitions or trade shows, and so on. These are not the only sales promotion tools, but sales promotion is the second mix that you can uh, use to communicate with your customers. The third type of promotion is known as personal selling. So personal selling is when you use your sales force or your salespersons to communicate with your target audiences. Of course, it should be oral. It is oral communication, so it is known as sales, personal selling. And personal selling is personal and it is paid, because you are going to pay a certain amount of money for your salespersons, and it is personal, meaning that the salesperson has a direct personal relation with the company, with the retail store. So you can use personal selling as a means of communication. So when you are using personal selling, you should consider training your sales forces, and the sales force or the salesperson should have qualities or certain characters. The first character that the salesperson should have is uh, a modest character, meaning the salesperson should respect the customers and should discuss with the customers in understanding manners. And again, the salesperson should have knowledge, should understand about the product, should have a know-how about the store, what he or she is selling. So these are this other characters. And again, in terms of physical, the sales person should be healthy and should be confident enough to convince your customers. So you should consider giving trainings for the salespersons to acquire the communication skill and the interpersonal skills. And again, if you are using emails rather than oral communication, then it is known as email marketing. Again, it is a type of promotion that you can use, but this personal selling is a bit expensive compared to sales promotion in that of advertising. The other promotion tool is known as PR, or public relation in that of publicity. Of course, some authors categorize public relation and that of publicity in different uh, categories, while some other authors categorize public relation and publicity as one. But when you say publicity, it is announcing what you have done for the society through the news agencies and through mass medias. This publicity is unpaid and it is impersonal. So you can use public relation and thereof publicity as a promotion tool, but there is one criticism about public relation. Some say you should not use public relation to convince your customers or the target audience to purchase your products. Rather, you should uh, do something for the public because that organization uh, stays in the public, because that organization affects the public in one way or the other. So you should not use public relation as a communication tool. And some others say no, public relation could be used as a communication or a promotion tool, but you can read more on that and you could have your own judgments on those criticisms. So there are two basic strategies when we discuss about promotion, but before that, let's summarize what we have been discussing so far. So the first thing is we have defined what promotion is, and then we have uh, explained the steps that we need to follow in designing our promotion. Namely, the first step is setting your objectives. What are the goals that you want to achieve after um, launching the promotion? The objective might be changing the customer's attitudes and perceptions. It might be informing the customers. It might be awareness creation. It might be reminding about your existence. It might be persuading your customers, and so on. After that, the second step is you are going to set the promotional budgets. So we have about 6 promotional budgets, and then you are going to choose and select between the promotional mixes. So when you say promotion strategies, we have push strategy and are of pull strategy. So when you say push strategy, the first one, the first diagram. So when you say push strategy, the retailers promotes the benefits of the store and the channel to the customers, and the customers react accordingly by purchasing from that specific retailer. So it's known as push strategy when the retailer promotes about the benefits of the store to the customers. When you say pull strategy, the retailer again promotes about the benefit of the product to the customers, and the customers will react by purchasing that product from the retail. So it is known as pull strategy. So when you say push strategy, it is when the retailer promotes about the benefit of the store or the retailer to the customers. And when you say pull strategy, it is when the retailer promotes about the product's benefit to the customers. So you can use push strategy and arrow pull strategy depending your objectives and so on. So lastly, we can summarize the retail promotion strategy planning in this diagram. So we have 5 steps. The first step is setting and determining your promotion objectives. But remind that when you set your promotion objectives, it should be smart, specific, measurable, actionable, or achievable, and then realistic, relevance, targets, and are of time bound. So your promotion objective will be determined at the first step, and then after determining your promotion objectives, you are going to establish or you are going to set promotion budgets. depending on your objectives or depending on any other criteria that we have discussed so far. And then you are going to select the promotion mixes, and then you are going to implement those promotion mixes in your strategies, meaning whether it is pull or push strategy, and whether it is advertising or personal selling or sales promotion or any other promotion mixes. And finally, you are going to review and revise your promotion plans. In here, you are going to evaluate whether you have achieved your objectives or not. And then after reviewing and revising your promotion plans, you are going to go back to setting your objectives. But before you set objectives, when you review and revise your promotion plans, you are going to evaluate whether the promotion budget was appropriate or not, whether the selected promotion mix was appropriate or not, whether the implementation was appropriate or not. If there is any problem in any of the steps, then you are going to start designing your objective, and you are going to set promotion budgets by correcting the mistakes that the retailer has made. And then you are going to select the promotion mixes and so on. So if you see, it is a kind of circle. You are going to start from designing the promotion budget and goes all the way to reviewing and revising, and go back to promotion objectives. So this will be the end of the today's lecture about retail promotion. Thank you very much, and stay safe. I hope you are doing well.